One of those thoughts that flew out of my head in the last video just returned. Ironically, it might be the most important one. Any responsible apostate will tell you that leaving the organization is not going to be a joyride. There are going to be lots of challenges. But you just do what you need to do. One of the things I've always recommended is starting to make contact on the outside, because every cult tries to isolate you from the outside world. The outside world. I mean, you're exposed to it every day, and yet you're not really connected to anything or anyone out there. So make connections. Take classes. Take a class. Take a university class, college course, continuing education. You don't have to tell anyone. Volunteer. Volunteer at the United Way. I know Watchtower doesn't like charities, but you're trying to get out of Watchtower. Volunteer at the United Way, Salvation Army, soup kitchen, local soup kitchen. Volunteer at the local YMCA. I did. You'll make friends, you'll make contacts. It's easy to meet people. Of course, not everyone you meet is going to be a quality person, but over time you'll figure out who you want to associate with and who you want to kick to the curb, right? Some people are just not worth the effort. But you'll make new friends outside Watchtower, and you'll have somewhere to go. You won't be left out in the cold. But the point is, there will be challenges. And if you're a person who loves freedom and independence and self-reliance, it's going to be a lifestyle change. And I'll tell you why. Because before you were asleep. You were a sleeping sheep. And nobody paid any attention to you. Right? You were following the program. You were not a threat. But when you wake up, and when you become awake and aware and free, that's when you get noticed. And not in a good way. It's not, you don't get noticed so people look at you and go, oh, look at that awesome person. No. You get noticed because they want to destroy you. They want to beat you down. And that applies to anyone. That's not someone who leaves the Jehovah's Witnesses. That's anybody who wakes up, stops being a sheep, embraces independence, finds their freedom. You will be noticed. And you will be targeted. So we're talking about a lifestyle change. You're gonna have to start. If you're gonna taste that freedom that you never tasted before, and believe me, you're gonna want to keep it. You're gonna want to hang on to it. There's nothing like a feeling of freedom, self-reliance, and independence. It's awesome, but you're gonna have to fight for it for the rest of your life. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. That's the way it is. Unfortunately, freedom is not free. In this world, you have to fight for it. There are people who will want to take it away from you. Bad people. And you're going to have to go to war sometimes. Yeah, that's right. I said war. It's not fair. It's not right. But it's the way it is. It's the world we live in. What do you want me to say? So be prepared. Be prepared for war. Be prepared to fight. And war is dangerous. But just remember, you're a player now. You're on the field. In this world, there are players and there are spectators. And most people are spectators. Fuck them. Fuck them. Now that you're on the playing field, now that you're on the battlefield, sometimes you'll have to fight. There are a lot of posers out there, you know, who think they're players, who try and convince you that they're players, who act all big and tough, who think they have authority, money, power, status, a pretty uniform, a badge, a gun, whatever. But they're not players. They hide behind their status. They use their money to protect them. They use their, their guns, and they hide behind their badges. They're cowards. They're not players. They're spectators. They may seem like players. They may look like players. They may fool a lot of people into believing that they're players, that they're warriors. Well, they're not. They're neither. But you're going to have to be. You're going to have to be a true warrior to protect and preserve your freedom for the rest of your life. It's going to be a fight and a struggle. But it's going to be worth it. Because the alternative is slavery. And that is unacceptable. I'm not telling anyone what to do, but I've made my choice. And I wouldn't change it for all the money or power in the world. If it's a choice between war and slavery, I choose war.